My mom is a soldier.
My mother is my hero.
I think my mother, I believe, was a very wonderful and loving mother to me.
My mother was a very compassionate person.
My mother is strong.
My mother is a rock star.
My mom's philosophy in life was to always first be kind to everyone, and that everything will work out in the end, because I stress a lot. So she knows that, and she says things will always work out in the end, you just gotta let it go. And that's something I carry to this day, because I don't live now at home. Yeah.
My mom's strengths are that one of them is that she's very strong. She had 9 children. She raised all of us with my father. We grew up homeless, so with that, you know, she had to handle cooking for all of us, taking us to school. The way she brought us out of homelessness was by her being the team leader and telling us, you know, what we had to do in order to survive under those circumstances. Telling us and showing us.
Because when I was in school, I was extremely bad. Like, I would just act out. I didn't, there was a great time where I wasn't really caring about my mom's opinions, you know what I mean, and perspectives on life. I just kind of just doing me, and I just, you know, I would act up. Like, she just tried to show love during that process, but honestly, like, I was really a nuisance, like, you know what I mean? And just her just kind of sticking, like, just being by my side and just trying to always encourage me, even though at times it was going one ear out the other. I appreciate her, and I love her. You know what I mean? Like, just everything that we talked about, for everything that we talked about in regards to just putting up with, like my ups and downs, you know what I mean? Like, my highs, my lows. She just kind of stood the same, you know what I mean? Like, she just always remained like consistent. So I really would like to say I appreciate you, I love you, and thank you so much for putting up with me.
Perseverance. The most important lesson my mom taught me was perseverance and to never give up. I remember being a child and working in the sour cherry orchards. I don't know if you know about sour cherries, but they're sticky and it's hot and you pick them in July. And we'd be out there like all day in the heat and humidity. And she basically said, you know, the money you make, you get to buy with what you want. And she basically taught us hard work, perseverance, never give up, no matter what you want. If you want something, you got to work for it in life. And so she's kind of been that, you know, background for me my entire life, whether it be my teaching career, my acting career, whatever I've wanted to do with my life. She basically said, you can't give up. You got to keep working. That's what life is about. You're not 6 feet under. That's the joke we have. You're not 6 feet under yet, so you've got to keep working at what you want and your dreams. You only get one chance. So she's really given me that motivation to keep going in life.
My mom gifted me with the gift of travel. My very first present that I can remember is a passport. And she taught us to travel and enjoy life. She taught me to look in when you go to a country to say, if you were creating the perfect world, what one quality would you take from that country to make the perfect world? And I think it really helps you view a country in a whole different light. We went sand surfing in Morocco. Sand surfing is when you trudge up to the top of the dunes and then your guides grab your ankles and they whiz you down. So it's like a toboggan ride. And everyone stopped and my mom was by far the best and having the most fun. So she was kind of like, she plays 6 all the time. We're really happy about that. My mom's philosophy was to collect experiences and not stuff. She said stuff can always be taken away from you, but they can't take away your experience.
Something that my mom would always tell me growing up is that I always have to pray and make sure be always thankful on my blessings, and that however things get hard, that, you know, everything's gonna be okay as long as I pray and as long as I work hard for it. My favorite memory of my mom, well, there's this one instance when I just got divorced. This was, I believe, 6-7 years ago. And this was the hardest time in my life when I was here in the US. And my mom right now, she's 82 years old. She doesn't really have much too because she didn't really work. And when we were together, because she knew what happened, she went with me that day. And then she handed me a Ziploc bag with quarters, $5 bill, $10 bills, dollar bills, and a $50 bill. And I asked her, "Ma, what is this for?" She said, these are all the money that I saved up there. And I want you to have it because you need it more than me. And it just reminds me of from when I was the youngest up to that point, up to today, that she would give us everything she had just to make sure that we're taken care of and that we'll be happy and that we'll be able to survive and succeed on everything that happens with our life.
When I went to grammar school, it was about maybe a quarter mile away from my house. I could walk to school. My mother worked a mile and a half away. She would get home before me at lunchtime and make lunch and walk back to work, back and forth. And she made me breakfast every day through high school, egg, tea, and toast, right from Ireland, every morning, and 2 sandwiches before I got on the bus. So I never missed a meal.
I knew my mom loves me by her love of cooking. She would always make sure that I was well fed throughout the day, whether in the morning, where most kids have their cereal and milk. My mom would prepare these special scrambled eggs. And of course, if I was running late for school, I would always take that with me and make it a sandwich. And then when I have a moment, I would just pull it out and enjoy it. That's how I knew my mom loved me, making sure that I was always fed throughout the day.
On rainy days. Now that was a special time because we would wash dishes together, and I was usually the one to wash dishes. My mother would dry them, and we would have deep conversations. And I remember asking my mom one time why she didn't have that much money, and she said because Negro teachers got paid $100 less than white teachers in Oklahoma. So that helped me to be more empathetic toward the situation. Yeah, those were some good old days.
I would love to take away all of my mom's worry. My mom's not a person who comes from a lot of means. She's very resilient. She finds a way to keep going and to make ends meet. And if I could do anything for her, I would love to take all that worry away and let her focus on the things that she loves most in life.
I always tell her I'm so grateful for her. She's everything to me. And everything that I ever achieve is for her. Like, that's what keeps me going every morning, just knowing like, oh my God, like I have to give it back to her and just make things happen so that she can have an amazing life, because she gave up her life for me, so that I could have the life that I wanted. So, like, that's all I want, to be able to, for her to, for the rest of her life, to not have to worry about anything, because I want to give it to her.
If my mom was here right now, I would let her know that I love her very much.
I just want you to know that you're always in my heart. That's what I would tell my mother.
If my mother was here, I'd like to tell her that I love her very much and I appreciate everything she's done for me.
Just how much I love her, and I wish I hope to be as good of a mom as she is. So, yeah.
If she were here right now, I would say, thank you. I love you, and let's go out to dinner.